Hello, these are new games released on Steam for 20th February 2024. I'll leave links to all of these games Steam store page in description, and also if I play any of them, I'm also gonna put a link to gameplay without commentary. First game, Nightingale. Open world survival craft multiplayer. So it's a survival game, doesn't show much of a gameplay. It's mixed reviews. Okay. Single player online co-op, partial controller support, originally $28.99, now 10% off for $26.09. Next, Chronicles of Crystal Turn-Basde Epoch. Should it say Turn-Basde? Probably. Roguelike deck builder, card game, pixel graphics. Oh, this is not in English. I mean, there probably is an option to change. Maybe not, I don't know. Well, hopefully there is, because, yeah. It's a single player game, originally $5.89, now 25% off for $4.41. Quod Episode 1. Horror Walking Simulator Puzzle to Sirik. It seems similar to all the horror games, except this one's not as dark as others. There's puzzles, and you probably need to interact with items, find them and put them where they belong, and there's a flashlight and stuff. It's a single player game for $8.00. Furnish Master. Early access, colorful simulation sandbox 3D. So it's like a small room and then you just decorate it, you put furnishing and stuff. It's a single player game, originally $14.80, now 10% off for $13.32. Next, Tiny House. Same like previous one, adventure strategy software board game. But the tags are completely different though. But it seems like it's a small room and you just furnish, put whatever you like. Okay, single player game. This one's way cheaper though. Originally $4.99, now 15% off for $4.24. Next, Empyrean Swarm, like a bullet hell action roguelike pixel graphics RPG. So it's like a space shooter. There's power-ups. So do you get power-ups when you level up? Or can't tell, probably. There is a free demo. It's a single player game, full controller support. Originally $4.99, now 10% off for $4.49. Plantabi Little Garden, simulation farming sim point and click puzzle. So you're buying pots and plants and arranging them and putting them around the room, so similar to those two room decoration games, except this is only with plants. It's a single player full controller support, originally $6.89, now 20% off for $5.51. Next, Hidden Object Chronicles, Poisoned Truth Collector's Edition. Hidden Object Map 3 puzzle point and click. There's more puzzles, it's not just hidden object, there's like, maybe it is only hidden. But these dice, they're like a match to like match the same. And there's this one, for example. Question mark plus question mark equals flame. So you probably need wood and furnace or something, I don't know. It's a single player game for $13.79. Next, Magic City Detective Rat of the Ocean Collector's Edition. Adventure casual point and click fantasy 2D. So another hidden object game with puzzles. Except this one has more than just hidden object puzzles, more clicking and more puzzles. It's a single player for $13.79. Next, Blast Them All. Arena shooter, top-down shooter, beat them up. So it's arena shooter against AI CPU, I assume. You have life, so it's like a survivor maybe. Because there's score, so it's like probably not level based. Or maybe it is. Okay, it's a single player game, partial controller support for $7.79. Samurai's Way. Casual adventure to the fighter arcade clicker. It's kinda like platformer, hack and slash. Going and killing stuff. It's a single player for $1.99. Robzawar. Action arcade action roguelike 2D. This again seems like a survival game, where there's a bunch of enemies on your screen and you kill them and level up and pick upgrades. Single player game for $29.99. Comp 2. Exploration puzzle action minimalistic 2D. It's like this hard platformer, maybe? Do you need to redirect the ball, or are you playing as this ball? Are you floating, or do you need to bounce? I can't tell. It seems like it's bouncing, like you don't have full control of it. Like you need to bounce it from obstacle to obstacle. It's single player, partial controller support, and 1950. Next. Le Mans Ultimate. Racing automobile sim-immersive sim-realistic. So is it a racing game or a simulation of a racing game? There's so many screenshots that actually explain what I just said. Yeah, I'm 100% sure that I don't know. It's a single player online PvP for $29.99. Next. Plane Accident. Simulation Education Outbreak Sim 3D Flight. So, simulation. Is this a survival? No. It's a puzzle game. You need to collect documents or maybe take pictures of plane crash and then solve the case. Okay. The single player game, there is a free demo, originally $11.79, now 20% off for $9.43. Next. Diets and Deities. Written cooking, music, story, rich fantasy. So it's like a written game, but you don't press the buttons, you collect ingredients by collecting, by moving left and right and collecting them in written rather than just pressing buttons. Okay. It's a single player game, full controller support, originally $13.79 at 10% off for $12.41. Next. Balatro. Roguelike deck builder, card game deck building. So it's a card game with like these ordinary cards. And there's a lot of jokers for some reason. You have packs. Okay. So are there multiple game modes? Or how do you mean? Can you make a deck full of jokers? Probably. Okay. It's a single player game, full controller support, originally $13.99, now 10% off for $12.59. Lazaret. Horror, psychological horror, atmospheric puzzle. It's a dark horror game. You probably have a flashlight and then you have to find the objects and put them where they belong and interact with them. It's a single player game, partial controller support. There's a free demo, originally $10.79, now 10% off for $9.71. Next. Medieval the Priest. Adventure action with a map arcade 2D. Okay, is this a survivor? No, it's not. So you have, it looks like a survivor, but like no, like it's kind of open world-ish. And you probably have some quests then. Is it like a point and click movement? Can't tell. It's a single player, full controller support, originally $5.89, now 10% off for $5.30. Next. The Infirmity. Infirmity? Early access action adventure. So it's like a shooter game where you shoot zombies and shoot more zombies. Okay. It's a single player, originally $9.75, now 15% off for $8.28. Next. BEASTWATCH, Myth and Mayhem. Action, adventure, shooter, FPS, 3D, 80s. So it's like a shooter game with these 80s graphics, like fast-paced kind of, probably. It's a single player, full controller support for $11.79. Next. Star Trek Legends, early access action, adventure, RPG, sci-fi. It looks like a turn-based game, where you have your characters and can you autoplay this? Probably. Or do you pick abilities and attack? It probably has auto mode, right? All the games today do. Then you can power them up, similar like all the Android games these days. But is it Android port or is it made for PC? It looks like Android port. Okay, it's a single player online PvP full controller support, originally $18.44, now 25% for $13.83. The Lost Legends of Redwall, the Scout Anthology. Story-rich 3D platformer, Q3D. So you play as a mouse, and then you have to navigate to the world, probably do quests. Doesn't say much about the camera. I guess it is 3D, if it says it's 3D. Doesn't seem like it's camera locked. It's a single player, full controller support, originally $24.50, now 20% off for $19.60. The Lost Legends of Redwall, Feasts and Friends. Cooking, farming sim, crafting, relaxing, cozy. It's a cooking game where you have to cut stuff and prepare dishes and get ingredients with the same characters from the last game. Okay, the single player, originally $4.99 or 20% off for $3.99. Save Twiks, psychological horror, supernatural thriller, cats. So it's like a horror game, like the usual horror games, kinda dark. You need to find the objects, interact with them, and you need to save the cat, probably. It's a single player for $4.99. Stories from the Outbreak. Permadeath survival zombie JRPG. It seems like it's turn-based combat game, and you get some buffs. Probably recruit more members or something. There's 4 slots now, so I assume you can have up to 4 characters. And you can select the path. There's probably events, and you can get maybe some artifacts or some buffs or something. It's single player, full control support, originally $19.99 and 25% off for $14.99. Sky Settlers, card game, city builder, sandbox puzzle 3D. So you have these tiles, and then you place them next to other tiles and assume they need to match for like more points, and you need like a certain amount of points to complete the level, probably. Okay, it's a single player game, originally $4.99, now 30% off for $3.49. Next, Exiled Survivors, action, roguelike, hack and slash, controller 2D. So it's a survivor game. Bunch of enemies on the screen, kill them, get experience, level up, get abilities, and there's talents. There is a free demo, it's a single player game, partial controller support, and it's $3.99. World War, an age of industry and magic, card battle trading card game, PvP tabletop. So a card game. What's the resources? I don't see how many resources they have attack, and I assume this is shot, and this is probably the resource, this yellow thing. And you can have up to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Probably get one per round. Okay, it's a single player game, online PvP, LAN PvP, originally $4.99, now 25% off for $3.74. Idle Fields, casual clicker simulation, idler collectathon. So you play as a showroom, or like the game plays itself because it's idle. And probably have to click on something. I don't know. It's a single player game, partial controller support, originally $3.99, now 15% off or $3.39. Supermarket Simulator. Immersive sim economy management building. So there's a lot of these simulator games where you start by having this empty building, and then you have to clean up everything and buy shelves and buy the products, and then customers come, and then you can play simulation. It's a single player game, originally $12.99, now 20% off for $10.39. Next. Invisible Fear, horror, atmospheric, dark, first-person thriller. So dark game, you have a flashlight, you have a camera, and you probably, you need to dodge this creature, and you probably need to find objects to interact with and place them where they belong, like keys to the door and stuff. It's a single player game, originally $7.79, now 10% off for $7.01. Next, Dark Gravity. Action indie sci-fi shooter arcade 3D. So like a space shooter. And you can power up, probably get different ships and stuff like that. The camera is slightly tilted, it's not the usual like 2D. But it's not really a 3D. Kinda, but not really. It's a single player full controller support, originally $9.99, now 20% off for $7.99. Kinetic, break all limits, is early access to the platform racing level editor, because you can create your own level. You play this Kinetic character and go through the platform to complete the level. There's a timer. There's probably traps that you need to avoid. Like you have some crazy powers since you're kinetic, right? Not just double jump. You can probably attach to walls or rails or something. I'm just assuming. It's a single player game, online PvP, shared split screen PvP, remote play together, full controller support, originally $19.50, now 15% off for $16.57. Those are all games for today. I guess see you tomorrow for more. Okay, see ya.